Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for Wednesday, September 30th. We got 2 more days of trading, today and tomorrow. Big non-farm payroll number reports come out Friday, 8:30 Eastern time. Waiting to see what happens here. It's really going to be interesting to see how the markets react to the number, not what the actual number is. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, yesterday we had a decent move up in the pre-market, and right around 11:30-ish, market started selling off. We started seeing some of the oil stocks, oil-related, oil services, started to catch a little bit of a bid in the morning, and then they started to roll over, as well as the IBB, which is the Biotech Index ETF, right? So we have a lot of selling pressure going on in the biotechs, which is affecting the NASDAQ. It is, I believe, about 25 or 30% weighted in the NASDAQ. So that will hinder any kind of movement to the upside, as well as the S&P 500, because we also have a lot of oil stocks that are heavily weighted in the S&P. So that's going to put a damper on things as well. So we're kind of having to navigate through a lot of information, and obviously major volatility for the last several weeks, which I've been calling. And I do suspect some continued volatility in the next couple of weeks, going into at least the last week of October, which generally we see a market turn around. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. We are at 6-year highs. Anything can happen, so let's just keep that with a grain of salt, and let's move forward with our market analysis. Now, we do have mutual fund inflows that are coming in, as well as we have a lot of outflows that came out of the market as well the last several days. So it's kind of a battle here. So we'll see what happens. We had a lot of dark pool activity as well the last couple of days. So it's interesting to see if a lot of the big majors are going to start accumulating some positions down here where we are basically fairly valued around 1880, 1875 in the S&P. So we'll see if we catch a little bit of a bid. I'm expecting a little bit of movement to the upside. We are up in the pre-market. Not the reason why, but just because that we're down so much. I'll show that to you in the daily charts. We're not quite oversold, that we're looking for a decent bounce here. I think this bounce will get sold into. You could see the McClellan oscillator here. Very, very reliable indicator of overbought, oversold readings in the market. As you can see here at 43% negative, we could have plenty of room to run to the downside. When we get down about 70, 80, 90, and I would like to see a higher low from this low from August 24th, then I would definitely suspect a decent move to the upside. And that may not happen as of yet. We might get a little bit of movement. And again, anything can happen with non-farm payroll numbers. We do have a couple of Fed governors speaking. Janet Yellen speaking at 5 o'clock again today. So all eyes will be on Janet Yellen and what she has to say. And again, non-farm payroll numbers tomorrow at 8:30. So keep a kind of a light palette going into tomorrow, if you will. All right, let's take a look at some of the indexes here. Here's the TBT. Now, this is to be short bonds. You'd buy the TBT, you could buy the TBF, or you could just short the TLT, okay? Whatever you prefer. I am liking bonds short. That means I would be looking to buy the TBT. And why? I believe and suspect that the long-term bull market in bonds since 1981 has been done. I think that markets are going to realize that we need to sell bonds, and we are really have a real crowded trade going on in bonds. And if everybody starts running to the exits, you're going to see a mass liquidation in bonds and bond funds, which will also hinder, believe it or not, on equities, even though they're inversely correlated at the moment. But we do have where everybody's going to be one-sided, and bonds sell off violently, then you're going to see the S&P as well as the equities take off to the downside as well. So just keep that in mind. Wouldn't look to get short now. We did have a flight to safety in bonds the last several days, obviously to be expected. We had some major weakness in equities. So I do like the TBT here. Look to see a stabilizing base and then break back above the base, and then I would look to get long the TBT. So I'm watching bonds closely. You could watch the future, the ZB, as well, if you're a futures trader. Now, I want to put into perspective the SPY. Here's the 20-month. We have today and tomorrow's trading. Unlikely that we're going to get back above here, but we have 2 consecutive closes below the 20-month moving average. Not a pretty sight, guys. If we start to break down and we take out the August 24th lows, we are going to be in serious trouble. I mean, serious trouble. I think we're going to collect, we're going to hit that 50, and then most importantly, we'll tag that 200-month moving average, okay? Does it happen all at once? Absolutely not. It's a process, but I do think that the topping process has begun, and I do think that we might take a bear flag back up here, but I don't think we're going to see the highs the rest of 2015. Who knows? It's just what I'm looking at right now with what the charts are telling me. Daily chart, spiders, you can see here. I put a Fibonacci retracements from low to high. We tagged that 61.8. That was Fed day for Janet Yellen speaking. We sold off pretty hard, put in a doji, and that's why I'm thinking we get some dark pool activity, accumulating orders to the long side here. When you get that doji, I would suspect that we'd start to move a little bit higher here. Okay, we do have some oversold readings that are now starting to roll back over from the extreme oversold. Now we're starting to move lower again. So just keep in mind, guys. Remember, this is a dangerous market. The market are made to fool the masses. Keep that in mind. Spider 60-minute wanted to show you high to low, Fibonacci retracement, 76.8% retracement. Tag that, we roll back up again. You can see that here in that green candle. So I would suspect we kind of move higher, make another higher low from this lower high, from this previous low, and then continue to move downward. I do think that at one point between now and the end of the year, we do tag that August 24th low. Here is really the big picture, okay, guys? Transport's our main leader. IWM, the Russell 2000, our secondary leader. It's breaking down and took out the August 24th lows already. Big distribution day, massive selling. Risk off. This is exactly what it's telling me, that the players, the major players, are taking risk off the table. Okay, they do not want to be exposed heavily in this market. That is not a good sign for the bulls or any type of relief rally, because I do think that these rallies will be sold into. If the Russell does not regain its momentum to the upside and start base building here, I think that we're going to be in serious trouble again, and I do think that we will test that August 24th low like we did here already in the Russell. I do believe the IBB helped sell off. I understand that. I also think that the energy sector definitely helped pushing stocks lower, but this is the main culprit right here. Okay, don't let the CNBC fool you. This is the main culprit, is the Russell, and I would be keeping an eye on the Russell on a daily basis, on a minute basis. Watch what it does. If it starts to recover, that might be some clues, but if it starts to continually break down, it's not going to be a good sign. Here's the transports. What I can say is transports held this area here of support. Not a bad sign for the bulls, but remember, if it starts to break down, it'll test that August 24th low, and that's not going to be a good sign when you have two leaders breaking down as well. Okay, take a look at the diamonds. Again, held at September 2nd. Now, if that breaks, and of course, we'll test that August 24th low. So maybe we get a little bit of reprieve today since the futures are up. Let's see what happens today. I would not have a problem buying pullbacks today. That's going to be my observation. I'm going to be looking to buy pullbacks in any deep movements to the downside. As long as there's support down there, I will be looking to buy. I wouldn't want to be short down here as well in the hole, but let's see what happens this morning when the market opens. Lastly is the Qs. Again, guys, you can see here, we held that area. This needs to hold. If not, then you can see us continually move lower and test that August 24th low. Hope it helps everybody. Have a great day. Use your stops, please. Very important in this high volatility environment. Take care. We'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.